Hey everybody, welcome back to Mainstream Monday here on Horror Film Lovers. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I'm here with
John Ward.
John Ward, and he's got something to show you, so you guys better like it.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I am very happy that we could discuss Scream 4 today since
Yes,
the trailer for Scream 7 came out.
yes,
Can we do this instead of the Child's Play remake, please?
I
I'm watching it
wish,
right now
I
and have
wish.
many. Now, I'll mention this and then I'll get to what I want to show. Emma Roberts plays Jill Roberts. Roberts, huh? Interesting, interesting. I dated a girl named Jill Roberts.
We've reviewed Scream 4 though,
I
so
know,
did
but
you talk about this?
it's so much better
Did
than,
you already talk about that?
no, I didn't. I actually just
Okay.
thought about that when I was watching it this time. But I figure it's so much better than the remake of Child's
Oh,
Play.
if you had told me, maybe we would have.
That's what I get for, ugh.
You're
All
the
right,
one
man.
who, yeah, you're the one. Hey, look, I told you we didn't have to do this. You said we
We
had
have
to
to do
do,
it. We
we
have
had
to.
to do it because it's a complete thing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Um, okay, so remember last week when I said I think I should have something big coming in the
Oh,
mail and that I'll show it on the next video?
is this something to do with your cock?
Cock and balls.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
Well, it arrived today,
Uh-oh.
and this is the box.
What's in the
Oh shit,
box?
I just knocked over my microphone because I wasn't paying attention. Luckily, my coffee didn't go everywhere. There we go.
What's in
Okay,
the box?
so notice the size of this box.
What's in it?
Okay.
What's in the box?
Well, let me just say, I broke down and spent $90 on a
90.
Chucky doll in the box.
Okay.
It says good guys on it. It's a big box that he comes in. Does this look like the box that we see in all the movies? Isn't this a little small?
Seems small.
So, this is what I got.
This is where you gotta be careful when you gotta read the fine print.
They
Small.
sent me a
What
Pokemon costume.
the that you did not order.
Did not order. They sent me a second Pokemon costume that I did not order.
Maybe they mixed up your order.
They definitely did. I tried to contact Spirit Halloween. They don't accept phone calls. It says that the phone does not go to the store. Instead, you have like three options, and one of them is not returns. So I spent $90 on two Pokemon costumes, and I don't even like Pokemon.
Can
So
you?
tomorrow I get to go return these.
Oh,
Hope,
you're returning them to the store.
yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I did read that I could, print up a label and all that, and but that was going to be the big thing I was going to show you the big long box that Chucky always gets delivered in and have you guess what was in the box and then open the box and there would be the big Chucky doll in the box. Good guys, all that type of stuff on it that you would find in the movies at the stores. And now it's not. Instead I got to show two Pokemon costumes. I'm not happy about this.
Oh, I wouldn't be either.
That's
Mm,
just $90. So either you give me my Chucky doll in a box. I thought maybe Chucky was in the box, and then like the box was all kind of folded up and you would open it up, which I wouldn't like. But maybe that's how they ship it. Nope. Nope.
nope,
No Chucky at all.
no Chucky.
No
You're
Chucky.
not lucky
So
with Chucky.
no, no. So now I have no Chucky stuff to show this time around.
I'm sorry. Maybe
So
on maybe at the Chucky during the Chucky TV series. Maybe it'll get sent by then when we start doing that.
hopefully,
Start
and
doing one of those.
I don't mind paying the money. I mean, it's expensive, but I get it. Just send me the right thing. It's one thing. And they sent me two things that have nothing to do with Chucky.
Speaking of nothing to do with Chucky, do you want to do the new Child's Play movie review?
Sadly, I have it right here.
Oh Lord, you have the physical copy. I watched it on Peacock. Peacock.
No, I owned all the other ones, so I figured why not? And there's four good things in this, and that's it. Otherwise, this is awful. God, and this is my fourth time watching it.
So
Awful.
I will tell you that I remember the day I went to see it. Um, I went with my brother. So my brother wanted to go see the movie, whatever, just wanted to do something, And we went to Movie Tavern, where I used to work actually. I used to work at Movie Tavern. And we went there and we were the only ones in the theater. So we're like, oh God, that's not a good sign. And it was like 9 o'clock at night, It should have been booming with people, you know. So we were sitting there about to watch the movie, and in comes a huge, like a busload of kids. Kids. I'm not kidding, like 13-year-old kids, 12-year-old kids running around, screaming at each other, right? They were more fun than the movie was. And I was talking to my brother's actually here. And I was talking to him about that. I was like, "You remember that?" And he was like, "Yeah, I remember it." And he remembered like little things about it, like how it didn't make any sense how Chucky could get around everywhere, and things like that, which we will talk about. But we were talking about it. And I was like, the kids were more fun than the movie. Like it was fun because they would they would react because this movie was made for them, even though it wasn't PG-13, it was R. So I'm surprised like a bunch of kids were watching it. I think it's R,
Yeah, it's our.
a bunch of kids were watching it, but they had their chaperones and adults, around, but their adults were letting them run around watch this movie. And so the kids would every time like there would be a jump scare which did not make my brother and I jump at all. The kids would go, right? And I was like, wow, so this movie is made for children. And this is the first time maybe second time I had seen that. The only other time that I had seen that happen was I was by myself when Truth or Dare, which was, I believe, PG-13,
The
if I'm
Madonna
correct.
movie?
No, but
Oh.
the Blumhouse terrible one,
Oh,
you
that
know.
one where
And
everybody has that weird smile, even though it's not
Smile.
smile.
Yeah, it's not the movie Smile, but everybody had that smile for whatever. And then but I'd seen like 13-year-old kids, 14-year-old kids like go, right? And everything in that movie too. And I'm like, okay, so like Blumhouse knows, right? Because they're PG-13, they know like kids are gonna come in there, gonna watch. They're actually gonna be afraid of this shit. But adults, watching this stuff is not gonna be afraid.
Was it PG-13? Because this says R, but it doesn't say like R-rated version. It just
No,
says
I
R.
think it was always PG. It was always no, it wasn't. No, Chucky was not. Child's Play was not PG-13. That was R. But I'm just saying that kids were coming in there, and even if it was an R-rated movie, they had like the chaperone. But Truth or Dare, I believe, was
Oh, I'm sorry, Truth or Dare. Yeah, okay.
yeah, Truth or Dare, I think was PG-13.
Yes, I believe so. I believe you're correct on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but this one was not. This one was R, which I mean, it has cursing, it has violence, and there's a side boob, which is nice.
Good old
But
side boob.
that's about it. There's no like nudity or anything because I mean Aubrey Plaza's not going to do nudity for this film. Like
No, but she
eh,
has. OGP just saw a film where she's naked in it, and she was a little naked in the God, what is that show with God, I can't believe it.
White
I've watched
Lotus.
White Lotus. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a
I
little
don't think
naked in
yeah,
that.
she didn't get fully naked or anything. I don't think she got
No, it was the side, and
yeah, of
of course I rewound it like five times.
course she did.
Well, I think she is absolutely gorgeous in this film.
Um
Even playing the mom, she is like, man, she is really freaking hot in this film. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go check out that movie that OGP watched, and
oh
because I
yeah.
guess she does some lesbian stuff in it. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah,
Always a pleasure. To me.
yeah, especially
Um
with her.
yeah, but I always loved Aubrey Plaza because she's just so funny, and she's just like, I don't know if you ever watch her interviews, but she's just the weirdest person, and like I don't know if that's fake or if that's real, but like her interviews are just so funny.
Well, and she does it. She's one of the four things that I like about this film, and yeah, she because she's such an oddball. You would never think that she would be in any Chucky movie,
And if you
you know?
notice, like they use the names but not the last names.
Okay, so this is a problem that I have. Is this should have not been Chucky or Andy. They could have named this, maybe his name is Buddy,
Right.
and you have and the kid is Steve. That way, if and we'll look at the box office, the film made money. You could then do a Buddy and Chucky movie. But by calling him Chucky, I don't know, you're gonna and the kid Andy, I think that was a massive mistake.
I do too. I forgot that his name was Chucky. I thought his name was Buddy. So, because I'd only seen this once. I saw this in the theater and that was it. Like I had no in maybe I've seen it one other time because I feel like I reviewed this before, but it might have been after that, after that release of it, on the theater. After the theater, I reviewed it for like Horror, Blood, and Coffee, I think, with Sam and Derek. I did that with them. And so it was sort of nice to like, I don't know, go back and rewatch it again because I hadn't seen it forever. So now that I can say, yeah, I don't it wasn't the worst movie at all, like by any means imaginable, but it could have been so much better. Like they really,
It's unnecessary, you know. I mean, it does say from the producers of It. Well, it's a remake.
right.
So I guess if they're going to produce something, they might as well do a remake.
Well, I mean, that seems to be what Hollywood does anyway. That's like even like these low budget or lower budget companies are remaking stuff now. Like the people that are remaking, like Keenan Thompson started a company and he's remaking Sleepaway Camp. I think that's the dumbest thing
Ugh.
ever because like, what are you gonna do? You can't do Sleepaway Camp without just turning it into a boring camp horror film.
But but the trans person is the villain.
Right. And
So
and you
how are
you
you going to
can't
get
do
around
that.
that?
You can't do that without and you can't do it as like, oh, now this is going to be a twist and people aren't going to see this coming. The only way to not make them not see it coming is to not make it trans and then the trans community will be like, well, now you're just taking away the one thing that we have, in the horror genre. So
Right,
I
you can't
like
win.
you can't win on this. And I think it was the dumbest thing to say, let's do a remake of, leave it as it is. Like there's some movies that just shouldn't be remade because they just are, you know, or do a sequel. Do a sequel. Have Felissa Rose in it, or whatever. Do a sequel because they've done those. They've done like five of them or something, five or six of them. Like just leave it alone, or do a sequel. That's it. Those are the only two options that you have for Sleepaway Camp. But
Well,
for
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Chucky, they were only doing it because they wanted to keep the rights to the name or whatever. Because um, I believe because like it was gonna what was gonna happen was if they didn't do one other movie, they would have they was it I think what's his name that Don Mancini got the rights back, because
But he
they're
was still making them when this came out.
I know I don't understand why that what was it, Columbia, no, Orion.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
Orion.
love Orion, by the way. I love Orion. I think they are one of the best like Hollywood companies that I remember like I remember their like logo and their look looked okay, updated. I kind of wish they really did like the old logos, and stuff. but glad they didn't do anything like completely new, and it didn't look like the Orion logo at all. You know what I mean? But I just was a little bit, I don't know. I was very disappointed. But then again, like it made money and they can't do anything with it now because he's got all the rights and stuff. So now he does whatever. I don't.
Well, since we're bringing that up, so its budget was 10 million, but it made 44.9 million. So the
Yeah,
film was a hit. It made money, and I was always surprised that they never made a second one. But the I think this is an awful movie. I really do. And it's that there are some films where you could do a remake. So we'll say The House on Sorority Row was remade as Sorority Row. I think it is one of the best remakes for a horror movie ever made. I've seen it like 5 times. It is great. Then they did My Bloody Valentine, and they switched who the killer is, but they had to jump through hoops to have it make sense. And it still didn't make sense because just because switching the killer so it could fool me, who's seen the original many times, goes like, oh, okay, they swapped the killer. But then if you go back and look at the film, it doesn't make sense that this is the killer because it just wasn't interesting enough to do it. So it doesn't make sense. So for me, and I think I've actually seen this 3 times. I think because I wouldn't see it in the theater. I saw it as a bootleg, and I remember, maybe I'm just high. I don't know. But I remember the film, and maybe the bootleg I saw was overseas. There was a thing at the very beginning that talked about how this film is in the future
I don't
and
remember that
that
at all.
these appliances and these products and stuff, and it talked about that. So when I saw it again, I bought the Blu-ray. It wasn't there. It's like that's the only movie that I remember it being on, nothing else. And then, of course, I rewatched it today, so I've seen it 3 times. But for me, the four good things in this, Aubrey Plaza. I like the slimy, like guy that was like handyman that was working on the place. I
Why'd you
don't
like
like.
him?
I don't. Okay, so well, I like him doing the surgery on
Oh,
Chucky.
okay.
I like that he kind of had like a little lab set up,
Uh-huh.
almost like it was like, Frankenstein. And I enjoyed all that. And Chucky looks terrified. And he's like, getting stuff in there so he could sell them on eBay. I like that. Um, I also I like that Mark Hamill did the voice. I wish he would shut the fuck up with politics because I like him and I really have to distance myself from him.
You have to like separate the art from the artist, kind of thing.
In this case, because I've been a fan of his since Star Wars, even saw him in Corvette Summer and all that stuff back in the day. It just it irritates me. It's just like, God, just
I
shut the
mean,
fuck up,
I get
man.
it. After a while, like, people just talk too much on those things because they can, and it's their right, and they,
And
more
he
power to
seems to
them.
be a little crazy. I mean, he was doing that award show and his pants fell down because apparently he wasn't wearing a belt, so he just was holding his pants up. But and then the other thing, the fourth thing that I like is Tim Matheson being the owner of the company. I've always liked him from Animal House,
I mean, I love him, but
and
I
then
don't.
I like that he still gets work. I like that he's still doing stuff because he was a big part of Animal House for me as a kid. He then bought National Lampoon magazine and kept it alive for a very long time. And then he just kind of started doing random movies here and there. I don't know, who knows,
He was
maybe
in
if he.
Black Sheep, I believe. I think he was in that. That was it. Was it Chris Farley and David Spade
Oh, that
movie,
Black Sheep.
Black
I'm
Sheep?
thinking of the horror movie with the
No,
sheep who
no,
kills people.
no, no. But there's. I mean, Black Sheep is a very common name now. But no, the Black Sheep with with them. I think I've got it right here. Correct. Um, yeah, I've got it right here. And was it Tim Matheson and that he plays Chris Farley's brother, who
Okay.
which is a little strange because I don't see them as brother and brother, but
No, they look like adopted, if anything.
yeah,
But
but anyway, it was fun. I actually really liked that movie. It doesn't get, it's not as great as Tommy Boy in my opinion, but I'm 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 that kind of, you don't like that kind of stuff. I love it. I kind of grew up on those movies, you know. So
Fat man in little coat.
yeah.
Fat man in little coat. The I just like that Tim Henson just gets work. I've really liked him a lot. A couple of the things I have is of how, like, could they do stereotypes? I mean, it's like you so you have of course, the black kid who has to be the fucking asshole. It's like, who talks all ghetto and shit and thinks he's all tough. I like that he was, knocked down a few pegs near the end, which was nice. But it almost seems like, and then you have the fat guy who's the handyman, who's all sweaty and oily, and he's got the wife beater on, and of course he's sleazy and scuzzy. Oh, because he's fat. It's like, oh, okay, well, why can't he be thin? Why does he have to be fat? Why
Why does
does
he
the
have to be
black kid?
creepy, you know?
Well, because he's got the cameras all set up and
Well, I
he's
mean, but
watching
nobody knows
everything. But it's
that. Nobody knows that. Like they make him creepy from the very beginning, him just like looking at people, or whatever,
yeah, making
you
people
know.
uncomfortable.
And well, I'm
Yeah,
just like, why? Because he's just a dude doing his work at the apartment complex.
because they figure it's like the first Jurassic Park where Newman is stealing the shaving cream that has all the blood samples in it.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, guess what? He's fat. So the fat
Newman.
guy is going to go steal shit
Yep.
because that's how fat people are portrayed. And and I'm not a fat, I mean, I'm overweight, but I'm not a fat activist, but I do get tired of seeing it. So
Fat shaming.
it yeah, yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's like, really, because even the guy, what Toy Story was it, where he took the toys and did like the experiments on the toys? Was it three?
I don't remember.
Oh no, he was going to sell them, like take them to a convention or something, but he was evil. He was fat because the
Maybe
fat
that's
guy's
where they got
evil.
the idea from. I don't know.
I did see a long time ago people comparing the two, going like, "Oh, that's like the guy from Toy Story, whatever." But and I do love Aubrey Plaza all tied up at the end. I thought she looked very hot, even with blood all over her. She was very, very hot looking. So the
That
fact that
I
made her hotter, having all the blood all over
was. My God, that's a new fetish. All right.
her. But
Um.
I don't get this movie. This, first of all, it seems to just be ripping off Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors, you know,
Well,
with the evil, Krusty the Clown. Oh, oh, look, he was on evil. Now we'll just change him to good.
I agree, but like after watching this, because originally I thought I think we brought that up together at one point, but after watching this, it wasn't like a switch or something, which was the
Well,
joke
you don't want to
in.
get sued.
I guess you don't want to do it completely like that. And you don't want to have the ending where he's all nice and good and helping people. Because the idea is that he took off the safety guards, right?
But why are they on there to begin with? I've
Um,
questioned this since the first day I saw it. Why would you even have in the doll a way of making it evil? Why is
well, it
that even
wasn't
there?
evil. It wasn't evil. Here's the thing. It's not, once again, it's, what is it that, hold on, let me, just realized I'm getting a little in my, all right. So here's the thing. It wasn't evil. He just, once again, he had all those safety guards off. So when he had all those off, it made him be able to question things and like be able to learn and to uh, you know adopt and adapt your to your surroundings. So like things that he wouldn't have been able to do, because remember there was that one point where he says a curse word and they go, wait, he's not allowed to say that, is he? And then she's like, or he's like, and he said, well, like mine does that. And they were thought that was cool, like because now this doll is cursing when it normally wasn't cursing.
Okay,
You know,
so make it Megan before Megan.
it's
Why
basically
why is there an option to turn that on and off?
because it's the idea that AI or robots aren't supposed to they're supposed to be commanded what to do, right? To use my example, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you say this, and this. It's not supposed to go, say, okay, faggot. I mean, sorry, that's a bad word, a really terrible word, but that's like the point. It's not supposed to say that,
You
you
meant
know,
like a pile of sticks,
right? Or a pack of cigarettes.
cigarettes. Yeah.
But whatever. But like it's not supposed to say, it's not supposed to say that word, whatever, right? That's not, but if it did say that to me, right? You know, that would mean that its safeguards, like the safety stuff was
But
off.
why does it have it to begin with?
Because if it doesn't have that, then it's going to do things that are not
Why
allowed.
can't you just build it so it doesn't do that?
That's the safety
No,
things.
it's because they somehow had to get it evil
No,
because they couldn't do voodoo with a guy putting his soul into a doll. So they tried to figure out a way, well, what if this
right, but that's the thing,
Jurassic
because
Park's the thing?
they know those things are designed in it to stop it from doing those terrible things. It's not supposed to kill people, you know, but it does because it's learning how to do that.
Then make it Megan before Megan. That it
It sort of
grows
did.
no, because it was changed. And my question is, why is that in there to begin with? If you have a fire extinguisher and you can have it explode or not explode, why would you have the option to make it explode? You would just make it not explode. So there's no reason for them to do this. And why aren't other people doing it? I mean, they're supposed to be in something like China, and this is like Apple or whatever it is, because that's the big thing in China with Apple products is people were jumping off the roof because they were so overworked that they put nets around the building. So people would get, they jump into a net. That's why the guy falls and kills
Well,
himself on the car.
I thought he didn't kill himself. I thought he got killed by Buddy or whatever. That's what I
No,
got from
no,
it.
I got that he committed suicide
Why did he commit suicide?
because he didn't have a job anymore. The guy told him to get out. So like some of
So
these Apple
he
people,
did that and then he like took off the safety guards, then killed himself. I thought he took
no,
the
he
safety
he
guards
he
and then
took the
he
doll, he put it in the box, he set it on the thing, and then he went upstairs and jumped to commit suicide.
oh,
Buddy couldn't have killed him because Buddy was already in, or
that's
Chucky was already in the box.
that's true. And then Chucky wasn't hadn't learned how to do that yet anyway.
Yeah, he
You
wasn't set
know.
up for it.
Yeah.
That's the
So
thing that I just don't. Also, I do not believe for a second that he could do all those things. Not for a second. I don't care how much Apple, because this is obviously a riff on Apple. I don't care how many Apple things are in your house. Apparently, everybody's house has this, but instead of just having different products. But I don't, why would you have this doll be able to summon a car or start a TV? This is stupid. Even Teddy Ruxpin, he talked because you put a cassette in him and you close the cassette and you could record things,
they had a Teddy Ruxpin in this movie too, like the Buddy Teddy kind of thing. Which I thought was kind of like
which I
that.
thought looked awful. He looked
It
like the
looked
Wolf Man.
it looked scary. I'm like,
Yeah, he
what
looked like
kid
a
would want
monster.
like why would one kid like that? Like I don't get it. Like and I get it where when it comes to life it's scary, but like it's supposed to look cute before then. None of these none of these dolls look cute. They look creepy. And like
And yeah, this thing is much creepier than Chucky or
Chucky
maybe
was
even
ador
Annabelle.
Chucky's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie, he's cute.
That I
He's
guess yeah, that would be the point. You want him to be a
right.
cute doll and then he turns horrible.
Well, no, and not just because he turns horrible, but like if you look at like my buddy, the buddy, my buddy or my kid sister, or all of those dolls from that Cabbage Patch Kids, they were all kind of cute. And the point was that kids wanted cute dolls. They don't want ugly. Now, I have my pet monster, who's adorable to me, but he's a monster, and whatever, but or Gizmo's cute. I would,
Yeah,
like you want a cute doll. You don't want something ugly and creepy because like it's like Annabelle, everybody kind of would go, "Ooh, that's why
it
do
is an
people
ugly
have that?"
doll,
Yeah,
but
it's
you
an
know what it
ugly.
is. If you see it, you know it's Annabelle. It doesn't look like any other doll.
Raggedy
I
Ann is cute. I
yeah,
mean, you
don't
know,
forget Andy. Don't leave him out. Andy's okay.
Raggedy
Andy's got some
Andy. Yeah,
pecs on him and stuff,
I know. I
I
like
I
both of them.
wonder if this was a Godzilla thing. So when they made, the Godzilla with the lizard that Matthew Broderick was in, that really
Yeah,
awful Godzilla, the Toho said, you could make Godzilla, but it can't look anything like Godzilla, or you can't do it. So they completely made him look different. They gave him a different origin and everything. I'm wondering if maybe this is kind of the same case where it's like
mm,
he can't look at all like Chucky, the original Chucky. You got to do him different, X percentage, and then you can do it. So they tried to make him look a little, well, maybe if somebody saw him, you might think it's Chucky, but it's not Chucky, but we'll call him Chucky. So I wonder because they could have made him better looking. I mean, the
they
picture
could.
behind you, that's he's not a good looking doll.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know why people would want him. And I don't see, except for the cop's mom who orders the car, Chucky doesn't really do anything. He doesn't. You would think that the mom would be like, she would see Chucky sitting there and she'd be like, "Oh, Chucky, turn on the TV for me. Oh, Chucky, start the microwave for me." Because apparently everything in everybody's houses is that company,
Mm,
and it's like we never see anybody use him unless it's the kid, the son.
that's true.
So,
Well, because it was the son's gift,
which
I
the son
guess.
didn't even want,
He didn't want because he was too old by then to have a
but
doll,
yet he
right?
likes watching
The cartoon.
my buddy or yeah, buddy or whatever it is, have sex because the doll is humping something, which is why the mom goes, "Ew, gross," because he's
Yeah.
having sex with like a couch or whatever it is. So, I mean, apparently
Um,
he likes, Buddy for something, but it's to me this really fails where Megan, and I haven't seen the second one, so I don't know, but where Megan succeeded.
I kind of want to see the second one. I haven't watched it yet.
I want to.
We should review it at some point. I think that's what should be next, is because we've been missing out on a few sequels. Like this, I think there was a Conjuring sequel that just came out, and
Yeah, Last Rites,
Megan just came out, and we've been missing a few of them that we need to kind of catch
Wolfman.
up on. Yeah, I didn't want to do that one.
We were doing Leave One Out.
I know, we have to do it, but I would, I
We
was,
should just find, after we do the TV show for Chucky, just find everything from the series that we've already done that's new that we haven't done
yeah, because
yet.
Scream 7 will be out in February, so we definitely
February.
have to do that.
Yeah, it's only like
Um,
what, 4 months, something
yeah,
like
four
that.
months away, and this will be done by the end of like this year, so we'll just like take a month off maybe, and then we'll just start off with Scream 7, and then do all the other ones we caught up on. That'll be good just to get things, caught up and done. And then maybe we'll do like to end it, we'll do like the Purge movies or something. But because that's a
Ooh.
small amount of movies. And the TV show. You can't
Four
forget the
films,
TV
yeah,
show.
2 shows, yeah, 2
Two
seasons.
episodes, yeah. So we got like what, six things to do on that, and then probably six movies to do for, to catch up on or something, or four, something like that. 4 to 6. So we'll have a whole season for next time. Because I've been wanting to rewatch The Purge, honestly, you know.
I could
Um,
rewatch those. Sure. I
yeah.
even have the Mass, the ones
Nice.
from Anarchy with the I think it's the woman who's dressed up as the Statue of Liberty and she has the black mask on. It's got like the different colored like crosses on her and stuff. And
Sweet.
so I have two. Looks like two are male, maybe one is female, and they light up the batteries and everything. They work
That's
and
awesome.
they turn on and off and so yeah, I have them up on my shelf. But yeah, I would be up for those. So because it's I'm glad that we're doing this and then going into something good like the TV series. So, oh, another thing that annoys, I hate when movies do this. So it's not just this one. They're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 out of order.
Yeah,
Why not just do the people editing these things not watch horror movies, even though they're
probably not.
editing a horror movie? You have the movie, it's right there. Just take it. You can at first show it in order. And then while Chucky's watching it and it's like getting in his head, then you can show it out of order. Like it's all messing him up. But it's like that scene came before this and this came after that. And like, why are you? And they're
Because
really
when most
overdoing it.
editors don't think anybody even knows nor cares what like order things are, like they don't think that you've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so you won't care. Or if you have seen it, you still won't care because you're just seeing clips from the movie. And it's stupid, and I don't like it either. Like it bothered me as well. Because I was like, wait a minute, didn't that happen early? Why is that happening now? Right? It's like frustrating. But the whole concept was that Chucky was learning how to kill somebody through watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is kind of cool, and stuff, and where people's faces and things like that, so you could take off that guy's face. Those are the things I liked about the movie. You said the four things you liked. I definitely liked that guy getting killed with like the lawnmower or whatever the thing,
Why does he have a pumpkin patch?
because
I'm sorry, watermelon
watermelon.
patch. Why does he have a watermelon
Maybe for
patch
the
in
joke
front of his
that
house?
the joke said, like there was that joke where the guy's like, "Isn't it ironic that the that he white guy got killed in a pump
Yeah,
watermelon
because it's a
patch?"
black cop who says
Yeah,
it.
right.
So it's, but that's so bizarre.
But I
And
think
why is
that's
he
literally the
changing
only
lights
reason.
at night?
I don't know.
Dude, what? I'm glad he
Well,
died too. Yeah, I mean, I liked his death. He was such a scumbag.
well, he's such a scumbag, and he was like the kind of guy that you knew, and he was like, "I wonder why Andy doesn't like me."
Well, see, I can identify with that because my mother had the boyfriend of the month, and they would try to be my dad, and I'd just be like, "Go fuck yourself." And my mom would like come in screaming at me, "How dare you disrespect my boyfriend?" It's like he's not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. You can
Yeah.
tell me what to do. So I kind of wish Andy had a little more balls, but
He
I
did
could
toward the end. I think that was then see, in screenwriting, you're supposed to make somebody like have no balls, and then eventually they, they work their
they
way
get very
up, and
big
they get,
balls.
and they, yeah, and they their balls grow, and that's what happens in this movie, and is the kid is like at first getting his butt kicked by the black kid, and then he's not, all these things are happening, and he's not able, he doesn't know how to defend himself until he starts to like do it on his own, and he starts to get a backbone, and he starts sticking up for himself and everything. And I love that. Like I thought that was great. I I did really like Aubrey Plaza. I thought she was wonderful. And I wish there was more of her and less of the kid, honestly. And like I know we can't if we're gonna do Child's Play, we gotta make it about the child. But yeah, honestly, I thought Alex Vincent did a better job than this kid did, and because I just think like Alex Vincent was more believable and stuff. This kid seemed like he was an actor, playing, you know what I mean? Like he didn't
Are you
feel.
saying that because of the age? The guy from Chuck from Child's Play 3.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about Child's Play. This one. I'm talking
Oh,
about this one.
am I forgetting the name of the kid from 1 and 2?
Yeah. So Alex Vincent was the name of the kid from one and
The
two,
actor.
and I liked
Okay.
him better. You know, that Andy
Oh,
better.
no, he was much better. That scene of him in the first one where he's in like the asylum and he's crying and like going down the wall and it's just like, my God, that was an amazing scene.
Yeah, he was so much better. And then, but this kid, I think that the problem with kids nowadays are they're too smart generally because they have every technology at their disposal, right? So they can just, you know what I mean? Like they're not like they don't have to figure things out on their own. They can just look things up and everything. And I mean to the point of like my little nephew is very freaking smart for like a he's almost 3. He hasn't even turned 3 yet, and he's very quick, to pick things up. You could say something about him, not thinking he even knows what you're talking about, and he goes, "No, I'm not like that." Right? And he knows what you're talking about. And you're just like, "Jesus Christ, man, you're 2." Ah,
I give that a thumbs up.
apparently I did. Um so yeah, I think that's the problem with 13-year-olds. They're definitely very, very smart for their age, and doing that doesn't really work for a movie about a killer doll, as opposed to back in the 80s where it was like a 10-year-old, like he was like 10 or 9. I don't even know why they made him so much older, you know.
I think maybe, well, to make it different, to also be able to get because they're doing like a Child's Play 3. That's what I thought I'm saying. That's what I thought you were referring to was
No.
because of the kid's age in Child's Play 3, who I think is still a better actor than the one that's in this.
Oh, Justin
Um,
Whalen, yeah.
and then because they gave him a girlfriend and all this, but you still had the
And
little
I,
black
I, I
kid.
thought there was gonna be something between him and that girl, and there was nothing. They didn't even do nothing with that. So I was kind of sad about that because that the girl and him could have had something, it would have been interesting, more interesting than what was going on because she was just friends with that big kid, and his name was Pug,
I
and
think is that her brother?
I don't know. I'm
Pug said one funny thing that I liked is when we first see them come in to get Andy, and Pug, they get him and they're leaving, and Pug goes, "Your sister's hot," and then the girl goes, "That's his mom," and he goes, "That's even hotter."
Yeah, I don't think they were brother and sister, I think that they were just friends. All of them were just friends. They all
Just
knew
hanging
each other
out.
in that like the apartment complex and everything.
Makes sense.
But okay, so were they new? Did they just move there?
You talk about the mom
Andy.
and son.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she says, "I told you to put away that box of stuff," and he didn't do it. He
Right.
made up some
Okay.
weird lie. So yeah, so the mom found a boyfriend really fast.
So
I mean,
mom found a boyfriend really fast. I mean, she's hot, so that probably,
could probably
probably
find a
happened
better guy
at
then. Yeah.
work, he probably
Oh,
gave her a
I don't believe that toy store at all. I
Zedmart.
don't. That sign and the stuff inside look like it was made by a studio. It doesn't look like an actual
What
company
was
or
it
like a,
supposed to be, like Walmart or like Toys R Us?
I
Like
think kind of like Toys R Us. But if you're going to go off of the whole Apple thing, then make it an Apple store or whatever, whatever that company is. Make
yeah.
it that, but make it a toy store.
I think they were just doing too much of that. Everything was that
But you
company.
might, if you're gonna go 9, go 10. It's just
Um,
that store looked so fake to me
mm.
that it's just you might as well play it up and
Right.
make it futuristic. Because like you were saying, kids don't have this stuff. I dated a woman once who had 2 kids. The son hated me. He was older. But the daughter, younger, liked me. And she wanted to go, it was around Christmas. And I said, okay, well, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to like a toy store? She goes, no, I want to go to Best Buy. I'm like, oh, okay. So we go to Best Buy and she starts looking at tablets. And this girl is like 10. It's just like, you don't want a toy? You don't want like a Barbie or something? And she's like, no, I want a tablet. So if you're going to do that, then take the Zed store and make it where it's more like a Best Buy.
Yeah.
But it's still, which would make sense to have Chucky there
Yeah, because
because he
he's
can
he's
control
a
everything.
yeah, he's not just a doll, he's an electronic helper, or whatever.
Yeah, because at Best Buy, it's this thing is I used to promote it when I did stuff there. It's called the Nest, and it's a dial. But it controls a lot of stuff just from this wall, just from this,
Oh,
it's mounted.
I was thinking like Alexa. You say, "Hey Alexa, you know,
Same thing.
turn
Yeah,
on the dishwasher," or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's getting to the point in technology for real where they're just trying to get us to like not have to do anything and just sit on our lazy ass. And I feel like this is like I hate to sound like a conspiracy nut, but I feel like that's what the government wants for us to just sit on our ass. We can work from home. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to do anything. We can just sit up there. We can watch TV. We can have everything controlled at our seat. Do you remember remember the TV show? Like, I don't know if you ever watched it or not. But there's a TV show on Nickelodeon called Roundhouse, you know?
I know. Roadhouse. I know
No,
that one.
that's a whole different thing. They're making a sequel to the remake of that, by the
Oh
way.
God, never saw the
Um,
remake.
Jake Gyllenhaal movie. It was weird. But uh, they had in Roundhouse. It was like a skit comedy thing. One of like the recurring skits was this. There's this dad who could roll around in his chair. You know how dads have like their own chair or whatever and stuff. And he had everything in his chair. He could pull out, everything, drinks or food or whatever from his chair, and he had a toilet. So he literally had everything that he didn't need to go anywhere. And I feel like that's where we're at in our society right now, period, is like they want us to just sit on our ass, be able to not do anything so that they can, I don't know, control us in whatever way that they
Well,
want
they
to.
made a movie about that with Bruce Willis. It's called Surrogates.
Oh,
It's where everybody's in a big chair. They're back, they're leaning back. It's like a big comfy chair, and they have their surrogate go out. So it's like a fake version of them go out into the world and do the jobs and the shopping and all that type of stuff, while the people that are sitting in the chairs are getting all fat and their muscles are
yeah,
not
I heard of
working
that.
anymore. And yeah, it's a good film. It's a good sci-fi
I
film.
need to see if it's on streaming somewhere. I might rent it, or not rent it, but watch it. It's only on. Might have to buy it at some point. Like,
It's worth it to buy. I own it.
um,
It's one of these things where, of course, Bruce wakes up and realizes like what's going on, and then he's
kind
the
of like
real
Total
thing.
Recall or something.
Yeah, like he
Kind
goes
of.
out into the real world and everybody's, fake, so he tries to wake people, and the government comes after him. And I
Of
enjoyed
course, you
it.
can't. You can't stop that. But like that seems to me like somebody proclaiming what they think, could be the future if we let it be that way.
But do
You
you
know,
think that there would ever be a Chucky like this?
um,
Controlling things?
I mean,
I don't think so.
maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be put it past Apple to create like some kind of Apple doll that, that you just tell it what to do and then it does it for you, like or whatever. You know, turn on the TV, you know. What I didn't like is how they made his name Chucky, you know? Like they could have easily done it where the kid came up with the name because he liked something, like something Chucky, some kind of Chucky, I like Chuck Norris. So I'm gonna name my, you know what I mean? Something like that makes more sense than him saying, I think your name's gonna be, and it was, I like Chucky, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It just seemed okay. We're really trying to just make it him name, him.
I still they should call it Stevie, or something. I just
I
don't
mean,
think you should call it Chucky.
and the funniest thing is like, uh, Catherine Hicks's name in the first movie was Karen. This movie, Aubrey Plaza is named Karen, and all I can think of is she's a Karen, right? Like, and I'm like, oh man, that's kind of sucks for anybody named Karen now. Like, you're not. It's the same thing as I knew a woman named Felicia, and every time she said her name, people would be like, "Bye, Felicia," and and I'm like, and she didn't know the first time people said it. She didn't know where that was from. She was like, okay, right? I was just like, oh, poor
Yeah,
lady.
certain names,
Certain names are
that's
kind of screwed now. Thank
well, like
God
way back with Child's Play, Karen was fine,
Karen was
but
fine.
not these days.
Yeah,
It means something different. So
and that
I don't know.
that's why it pissed me off when the kid's name was Andy when she. I said, did, did he just did they just say Andy? I'm like, why didn't they just name him something else? Because
Name
a
him
lot of times,
Max.
a lot of times when they do horror remakes like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, they don't keep the same names except for like the killer, right? Like Chucky, I could understand if Chucky is Chucky because that's like and it's what everybody knows the doll as. But everybody else they just replace the name. And I was surprised they kept the names. And I'm like, Andy doesn't even, I hate to say it, but Andy doesn't even feel like a name people call kids it today. Like it doesn't, it feels old school, you know? And sometimes maybe they do, but I'm mostly I feel like that would not. Like this just seems like, okay, let's just try to keep it being the same original movie or whatever. And and modernize it, for
Yeah, for me,
whatever.
it just they just should have been different names, different movie, different names. So it's they should also to kind of bring up Godzilla again. In the last, I think it's Godzilla Final Wars, which was the last Toho one. The Godzilla from the American Godzilla is in that movie. They call him Zilla. They're
Zilla.
not allowed to call him Godzilla. It's just Zilla. And it takes the actual Godzilla maybe 30 seconds, if less, to destroy it. It was done as a joke. They could do the same thing with this. This isn't the real Chucky. We don't like this Chucky. We like the other Chucky. So maybe have this Chucky in a Chucky movie, an actual Chucky movie, and have Chucky destroy him.
That'd be awesome.
Get rid of it. Because they're not doing anything. Kind of like how I wish that the kid from Child's Play 3 was in the series. I think that
Well,
would have been funny. But
here's what I learned about the reason why there was no sequel. So the rights split, right? The Child's Play franchise is divided by two owners. MGM and Orion owns the rights to the original 1988 movie, Child's Play. That's why everything else is called Chucky, you know, which is what the 2019 remake was based on. Don Mancini, the original creator, owns the character continuity and has continued his version through Curse of Chucky, Cold Chucky, and the TV show. Because of the split, the 2019 remake team can't legally use Mancini's ongoing story or characters, and Mancini wanted nothing to do with the reboot. The box office, second thing was the box office was underwhelming. Even though it made $45 million on a $10 million budget, that's decent, but not enough for MGM to greenlight a follow-up, especially with fan backlash and mixed reviews. Um, and then the TV series pretty much took over, and they were probably after that they're just like, we don't want to compete with that stuff, you know.
right.
Um, I I I think Don Mancini was mad, I believe. Like I read somewhere that he was not happy that they were doing a remake, like, it especially one that I mean didn't involve him really, you know, like this other writer came in and wrote it and it just didn't feel like Child's Play. Like it didn't feel like Chucky. It felt like it felt like it was something else, another movie, and then they decided, let's just make this into you know, um, let's make this Child's Play, and make this Chucky. And so we're just going to change all the names to Chucky, Andy, Karen, Mike, Detective Mike. They don't even say last names, which is weird. I don't know why that never happened, you know? Like you never hear Andy Barclay. He's like, I'm Detective Mike, not Mike Norris,
Well,
you
maybe
know?
they could just do Andy.
Right.
You can't do Andy Barclay, so you have to just say Andy.
Oh, yeah, because he is in the like Andy Barclay is in the in
And
the
that's Dom
other stuff.
Mancini.
That's Don Mancini. But I mean, he is credited. Him, Tom Holland, and John Lafayette are credited as for creators of Child's Play, the original Child's Play. So I mean, it does. I mean, it's a remake or reboot or reimagining. I don't know what you want to call it, but it,
Yeah.
well, it's not a requel, thank God. 'Cause I'm getting
No.
tired of those things.
Yeah, remake or
Um,
reimagining. Yeah.
yeah, it just wasn't that good. Like I wanted it to be so much better than it was. Always. I mean, even though I'd seen it, it had been a while, so I was like, man, maybe my opinions have changed about it. And like my brother even said it was okay. It wasn't like he watched Batman versus Superman with me and left. Like in the theater. Like left, went out, smoked, and just never came back. Went out for a pack of cigarettes and never came back. And that that goes to show you like, if he'll stick through, you know, Child's Play all the way and leave and not come back, it had to him it had to been okay, at least okay, right? Not anything too super duper great. Like I said, I had more fun watching the kids react to it than anyone else. Than me and my brother. We weren't. I mean, there's no jump scares that scared us. There's nothing that was, it was just sort of a boring, rendition of Child's Play, you know. And it was pre-Megan, and Megan, I feel like was a better version of this, you know. Um, so I would like to see Megan too. I guess when we review it, you know.
I
Um,
heard they lawnmowered manned it. It's all in the future, and she uses laser guns and all that stuff. That the
that's
director
terrible.
completely jumped the shark on that one. So he pulled basically they compared it to Terminator and Terminator 2, except that Megan 2 is not good.
Does Jump the Shark work for movies as well? Like I
Yeah,
always thought of it as TV shows.
no, I think it works for anything.
Okay.
I mean, they also say nuke the fridge. They nuked the fridge from
Oh,
Indiana Jones
I don't remember
because
that.
he gets in the crystal skulls. He when the nuclear
Oh,
bomb's
that's
about to
why,
drop,
because I never
he gets
watched that.
into the fridge and then it launches and he rolls out of it. So they call it,
That nuking the fridge. Yeah, well,
yeah.
yeah, I guess they nuked the fridge on that one, and and then nobody. I mean, we don't even want to talk about the next one. For Indiana Jones. You know,
No, Dial of
um,
Destiny is awful.
no,
But they said for because of with like Megan 2 is that she's good. That's where they get the Terminator 2 from, is that it's, in the first one she's
uh,
bad, in the second one she's good. So it's like, no, no, this isn't Terminator 2. You should have waited like three movies.
I can't wait to. I'm going to like a bunch of the Terminator 2 sites and stuff, and I can't wait to take pictures and hang out, see all these cool like little sites and shit from the movies because I love Terminator 2. I love it more than the first one, you know, mainly because he's good, you know, and everything. So maybe I'll like Megan too. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I would like a Child's Play too if they made it. I don't know. I doubt it, you know.
Don't think so. Don't and I'm very glad about that. So it's just not even the ending, with like the toys flying around and stuff. That
Hmm.
reminded me of um Puppet Master, the Little Reich. At the end of that, they had all the toys flying around and they were like cutting throats and
Ah,
all that. So it just like, oh wait,
I
which
just
came first? Because it's the same.
I think the Little Reichs came first. Who knows though? There was the drones or whatever that were. I think those were drones, right? That attacked and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, they're getting him with the helicopter blade type things.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool because I watched a movie called The Drone and they did nothing like that. That was cool, you know. But that was more independent film, you know. I thought that was going to be so much better. Paul and I reviewed it back right before I moved to LA, and we are just like, this is crap, you know. This is not that good, you know.
Well, and how does Chucky link up to all these things? Like, does he know? Because why not just link up to nuclear missiles?
Well, he doesn't want to
Why
kill
not just,
himself,
he's a doll. I mean,
but I mean, the self-driving stuff reminded me a little bit of Upgrade, you know. With
oh yeah.
the self-driving car and everything. And I was like, That's another reason why I never want to have one of those." Because if it gets like,
Because Chucky's
hacked,
controlling it.
yeah, if it gets hacked, you're you're dead. Somebody could kill you and get away with it, at any time. Um, so I don't know. It,
Well, remember that end of the world movie we saw? The one
yeah,
and I forget the name of it.
I think it was called Into like something in the world. It was Julia Roberts, right?
Yeah, yeah, and they had the Teslas
Yeah,
that were just like all like hitting into each other, like blocking the road, and they were like going a little crazy.
yeah, I
And
remember that.
the car thing that I don't think that bothered me as much as some of the other stuff. I don't like the cat getting killed. I don't mind the cat being strangled because that's, Andy went in and said, "Hey, stop that, don't do that," and then the cat went away. But I don't like the cat being killed, even though it's a dick. It's just an animal. I don't like that. I
No, I
don't think
never
it
liked
was
that. Um, I always have this affliction to animals being in horror movies. Whenever I see an animal being in a horror movie, I'm like, oh no, come on. Don't put them in there, you know? I have so Rocky, my dog that just passed this year, he's gonna be in Scary Story Slumber Party Volume 2. He doesn't die.
Yay.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't die. You don't kill him off. In fact, I was scared because my friend Nicole was the one who did it, and it was at that time period like where he was very sad, that my mom had passed. So like he was sort of vulnerable, and so she picked him up, and I thought he was gonna attack her. I was like, oh God, he attacked me, he bit my nipple. Yes, and he held on,
Pinky.
and he held
Oh.
on, and I had to like throw his ass off. And I felt terrible because he's a little teeny tiny dog. But I was like, it's my nipple or his or him. I'm gonna pick my nipple over him for a second, you know. He was fine, didn't hurt or anything. But yep, he got really nasty at the end of his life. That's probably showed a lot of times when that happens, it's because they're old and that they're at the end when they start getting really, really nasty, you know? Anywho, this to like sort of more wrap this up because we're pretty much at the end of the time period. I don't know how much more we can talk about.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the kills. I mean, he kills the cat. He kills the boyfriend. He kills the cop's mom.
This was a lot less kills than
Yeah,
what.
and I think that's it, right?
Hold on, let me see.
I could just pull up the
I'm
Chucky
gonna
thing that
do it.
I
I'm gonna
normally
do it
look
now.
at.
I'm gonna look that up. Okay, so I found one called Dead Meat. All right, here are the counted deaths here. So number one was Caslin employee, suicide via roof jump onto car. That's 3 minutes in. Then it's not till 40 minutes in that we get Shane scalped, stabbed 13 times. And that's 40 minutes in. Gabe, which one's Gabe? Is he the old the sweaty guy?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He dies. He gets the saw blade.
Yeah,
His leg
so
gets cut off.
yep, so 56 minutes in, slashed a few times, leg cut off with table saw. Doreen Norris crashed, then stabbed. That's an hour and 5 minutes in. Wes stabbed in neck, slashed by drone blades. Which one was that? Was that the guy?
He's the guy in the costume,
Okay.
and he gets stabbed in the neck. But I don't know how he could survive that. But then, yeah, then his neck gets cut by the drone.
Yep. Jane seen dead for 1 hour and 14 minutes. I don't know which one Jane is. I'll have to look that up. Other Zedmart employee killed by Buddy Bear, or whatever. An hour and 16 minutes in. So that was only 7 deaths in the movie. Non-counted deaths was Chucky stabbed, shot, and decapitated, and Mickey Rooney the cat stabbed. So I don't know why they didn't count that, but I guess so. Technically, 9 if you count those 2 deaths, but
Yeah, they do an office space at the with Chucky at the end.
with the staplers.
No, remember in Office Space they take the printer
Oh
out into like
yeah,
the field and just beat the crap out of it with bats and they, so that's what they
yeah,
did with Chucky. They just threw him in like the alleyway and just beat the crap out of him.
yeah. And then they cut his head off, decapitated. Or no, didn't the mom do that or something? She was like, "You're not gonna," and she
Oh,
rips
that's
his
at
head
the
off.
yeah, that's in the place. So
Yeah,
the cop shoots him and then the mom yeah, like rips his head off, and then the kids take him into the alleyway and really destroy him. I think if they were to make a sequel, because it was just that thing that they had to like pull out or turn off or whatever it was, that's would still be in the street. And then somebody would come by and see it and pick it up. And then that's how you would create a brand new Chucky.
maybe. If they ever, I don't think they'll ever want to do a sequel. They're
No,
done.
I hope they
I
don't
think they're
because
done. I just don't like this. I just don't like him. I don't like his look. I did laugh like you laughed, where the guy was like, "He's a ginger. I'm not interested in him."
God,
And
that guy
then
was a dick.
I know,
Wanted
like,
to return him. I mean,
what?
that's.
I mean, what? So what did you want? A black doll or something
I guess
with
he
a
wanted. Well, you said he wanted Buddy too,
blonde?
which was
He wanted a
blonde.
blonde one. Yeah,
The one that looked like a Nazi because he was like blonde, blue eyes. Look like definitely like a Third Reich doll. But it's just. I thought that Aubrey Plaza's character handled those things well. I liked those scenes where she's like, there is you could see on the box, there's a window. You can see that that he has red
yeah.
hair.
I,
She handled it very well
She
compared
handled
to.
it very well, and like she's probably saying the same things everybody in the audience was thinking, So obviously the writers knew when they wrote that, the writer knew when he wrote that it was, you know. But I mean, I like honestly, if I had to like rate this movie and give this a star rating like we give all the other ones, I'd give it 2.5. Like, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not like a 1 star movie or anything. It's not a terrible movie, but it's not great. And it should have been a lot better. What would you say out of 5?
I would give it 2. I was
2.
originally thinking 1, but discussing the scenes that I like and throwing a few other things in there, oh, your sister's hot, well, your mom's hotter, and then how Aubrey Plaza's character deals with the people
You
returning the
just liked
dolls.
Aubrey. If Aubrey Plaza wasn't in this movie, I think you would have hated it.
Yeah, I do because she is so weird, just in real life and stuff with how she does things. That the way that she talks
And
is
she does a great
always
job in this. It almost felt normal, you know?
yeah. Well, she has everything that she says sounds like fuck you. Andy, I got you a doll. Mom, that sounded like fuck you. Just
Yeah.
it just she seems like that type of person that her voice and mannerisms and stuff in real life come off that way. But it's yeah, I think if it was somebody else, I don't think I would have liked it as much because I really do find she is like unconventionally hot. There is something about her that's just hot when it shouldn't be.
I know Paul Presenza loves Aubrey Plaza. That's one of his big crushes. His biggest crush is Alison Brie, and she's
Who I think
wonderful.
is in Scream 4.
Yes, she
She,
is. She's
yeah, isn't she the press person?
the person. Well, no, she was the assistant or something, right? Wasn't she
Yeah,
the
yeah, she's the events coordinator.
yeah, the events coordinator.
Yeah, I'm right, but she's about to get killed. So
Oh. Why are you watching all of them again? Just for fun or
only part 4. Just because
for
the trailer for part 7 looked good, I really liked it. Kind of put me in the mood for part 4. And then I
I
also get my Emma
I
Roberts.
am I'm excited, but I should not get excited.
You shouldn't. No.
Because these movies, the trailers always look better than the movie comes out, And I guarantee you, when I watched Scream, like the Scream 2022, and I saw the trailer for it, I was like hyped up for it. And then I went to see it, and I was like, it's okay. And then the more I watched it, the more I'm like, it's not that great, you know.
I am a huge fan of flamethrowers. I love flamethrowers. Ballerina is brilliant with
Once
flamethrowers.
upon a time in
And
Hollywood.
oh God, I love flamethrowers. So when the trailer came out for Scream 5, they show you Ghostface with a flamethrower. I'm like, God, that looks awesome. No, it's like a clip from the movie, like Stab. I'm like, you fucking bastards, how dare you?
That's such a bait and switch right there.
Yeah, it
Uh,
really was. They totally lied. Well, it's kind of like, Black Phone 2. That trailer is one of the most misleading trailers I have
I
ever
haven't seen
seen.
it yet, so I haven't seen Black Phone 1. So yeah, I've got to get on that at some point.
Black Phone is good. The first one I liked.
I just haven't, I like Scott Derrickson, so I'm sure I'll like it. Um, I generally like his stuff. Even like the Devil movie that he did or whatever. Um, the Devil something. Didn't you do something like the Devil? It's not Devil Wears Prada, but oh, Deliver Us from Evil. Do you remember that
Oh,
movie?
yeah, isn't that the one with one of the guys that plays the Hulk, Eric Bana? And it's like a possession thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I own that. That was okay.
Scott Derrickson did that. Like, but that was like the bomb. Uh, Jason Blum always talks about how he will do is he'll see like a he'll get a filmmaker like take James Wan. James Wan had a big hit with Saw, but then like later he did Dead Silence and Death Sentence, which both didn't really do as well, and so but he had done, whatever. So like they take two good movies, and then if they've made two bad movies, he'll take those guys and say, hey, would you like to direct another movie, or whatever, and we can make something else. And that's what they, did with Insidious for James Wan. Scott Derrickson had a couple big hits, but then a couple big bombs. So he said, would you like to make Sinister with us? And that was how Scott Derrickson got his groove back, you know?
It's a good film.
Yeah. And
Creepy
then he
movie.
did Doctor Strange.
Oh God.
No, the original Doctor Strange. I thought that
It's
was pretty good.
it's okay. It's all right. It's fine. It's Marvel. It's okay.
That's okay. It's before
It's better than the Marvels.
yeah, before all that happened, and
No, the first Doctor Strange is good. It's a
yeah,
good movie. The
it was
second one is not.
yeah, I think you said it started to get really bad when Captain Marvel came around after
Yeah,
that
it's right when
movie.
Kevin Feige took completely over and like two oh God, I'm blanking on their names. There's two guys that were on the board that got fired, and then they gave it the reins completely to him, and that's when Captain Marvel is when it became very female oriented, and that was all Kevin Feige.
I mean, I like female-oriented stuff. I like Buffy. I like, it's just got to be done well, and everything. Buffy was done very well, in my opinion. But okay, well, that about wraps it up for our discussion on Child's Play 2019. I thought it was 2018 or whatever, which would have been better because that would have been what, 30 years? No, yeah, wait, is that right? 40 years. 2000 or was it 1988 to 2018? I'm doing math here. This sucks. 30 years? I think 30 years. So
I don't
later.
know.
Anywho, it would have been
No,
like
no,
30
no.
years later, and that would have been awesome. But no, this, you know, this was what it was. It was not. It came out. It bombed. I mean, it did bomb, but it didn't. It underperformed what they were probably hoping for. Um,
I don't know, man. $10 million budget and it made like 45 million. I
yeah,
don't
but
see
they
how
were
that's a
hoping like
bomb.
for 100 million, at least, on a $10 million budget. Because once again, it goes to like what they don't count into the budget. What we don't see is how much they actually put to the marketing, the P&A, and the and just making it for like the different theaters and stuff. Like, spending money on all the different theaters that this movie went to, you know? So all that ends up to be another $10 million at least, if not more. And that makes it only double its budget.
But yeah, that's why you got to, yeah, that's why you always have to double the budget. So it's really 20 million is,
So it's really 20 million that it should have been, or that should have been counted. So 20 million and 44 million is only a little double. That only doubled its budget. So it only made double its budget, which is not a lot for
but look what
movie
Don
standalone.
Mancini is doing with a tiny budget with the, with like Curse and Cold. Just do that.
Do a
Don't
$5 million
spend.
dollar movie. Don't do, but then they wouldn't have gotten Aubrey Plaza probably if they didn't spend 10 million. Because it just doubled. Speaking of doubled, it doubled what Don Mancini does. It said 10. Well, yes, because you don't know how much they spent after that for prints and advertising and getting it into theaters. So that was probably 5 million, but it was really 10 million. Then now it's 10 million, but it's really 20 million. You know, if they had done it cheaper, it probably would have been a bigger hit, but you wouldn't have had Mark Hamill, you wouldn't have had Aubrey Plaza, you probably wouldn't have Tim Matheson. You might have had Tim Matheson, but you might not have. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't have had those big stars in it and everything. So I don't know. It was it was okay. I wish they did better. But in a sense, I'm kind of glad they didn't because now they realize that was a big mistake. Let's keep with Don Mancini stuff and just keep
Yeah,
watching those. So,
fine by
yeah.
me.
Yep. But I do want to see Orion still do very well. So I love you, Orion. I don't know how many more movies they've got out now because still don't see their name anywhere else. You know, I thought they went bankrupt. That studio, but
They did.
I
There's
don't
even a
know.
Family Guy joke about that too, where they
Really?
go,
So I don't know how that
yeah,
even
but
came back.
they look up into the stars and they make an Orion joke that it's a bankrupt studio.
Okay, did not know that. But
But yeah,
that's
maybe they came back. Who knows?
well, they did. I mean, obviously for this one, but I don't know if they're still out there. If this movie didn't do that well, that maybe they're hoping it would. Um, but anyway, hope you guys enjoy this. Join us next week for no next week. It will probably be next week for the kids. Well, because this will be out in December. So by then we're gonna do all of the rest of the ones until the end of and we got what, five Mondays in December. So I think we can get the three was it the three
TV
seasons
shows.
3 seasons of the TV show. Plus, I think we're gonna do a recap slash maybe do the 4 hour long documentary if you want. I don't know. Um, I'll just have to figure. I might have to splurge and buy that Shutter for another month. You
I
know,
got it for free. I
how'd
do
you?
have the trial.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't do the trial anymore.
So I am going to watch the doc at some point, Doc of Chucky.
All right. Well, we'll do the Doc of Chucky as well. So we got some fun stuff adding to you guys. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. Give us a like, subscribe, and tell us how you guys feel. Did you guys like Child's Play 2019? I don't think anybody really did. I never heard anybody say, "Oh man, I love that movie." You're crazy. You know, might
No
know
one.
one or two people that would think that way, but
I don't know one.
we'll see. All right, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll be back. Bye.